All right, welcome back everybody. We are once again talking about writing expressions and translating them from a written phrase into an expression which is just like something like 4 less than 8, okay, or 4 less than n, or whatever the case may be. We've gone through in 2 previous videos, we've talked about adding and subtracting and those words and what they would mean. We've also talked about multiplication and what those would mean, the division. So now we're going to get into some symbols that some of these are actually, I have found, are kind of the big ones that people get tripped up on with writing these phrases. Okay, I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I've discovered and taught as I'm going along in this lesson to the students that I have, and being able to help learn and teach them these tricks. Okay, so we're going to go through these symbols up here on the board. So talk about equal signs: less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Now some of these I'm hoping that you have seen before and are fairly familiar with the phrase, but let me kind of, well, I remember last year I told the kids, some of these, and they were like, "You just blew my mind." And it wasn't that I overloaded, it was that I kind of had them think about something a little different than they may have thought of before. So try not to blow your mind. Okay, so this one, I would hope that you would think that is the easiest one. Equal to. Okay, so in the meaning, it is equal to and the same as. So when you look at the equal to sign, what do you think of? Now, I'm not asking a Dora question on this one, and when I say Dora, there's no response. Usually what I would get was, well, that is your answer, Mr. Larson. Equal to, or equals, means that's your answer. That is not correct. Now, we use it as like x equals 4, but what it is actually saying is whatever is on my left is the same as or equal to what is on the right of that sign. So example would be here. So now we say that 4 is the same as, x is the same as 4. And we can do things with that. It is not, this is your answer. We are finding what this side is the same as the other side. Okay, so that one was one of those kind of a moments for some of my students because they had never thought about that. In algebra, the reason I'm saying this is because we're moving things across this sign, or we're trying to make both sides equal. We're equaling one side to represent a letter or a variable, and the other side to represent a number. And once we get to that point, they're both equal now, we can substitute them out. That is the whole thing with algebra, and which is a little confusing is that we think, well, we need to get our answer. Really, we're saying we need to get this side equal to this side of the equal sign. So, hopefully that was a good explanation. Sometimes when I'm saying things, I'm like, yeah, that totally makes sense. And not having students in front of me sometimes to make sure that I'm saying it in a way that is understood, that sometimes I get a little deep. So let's talk about this next symbol down. This symbol, hopefully once again, you have seen it before. This is a less than symbol. Now, what you've probably seen in the past is you'll see something like this, 2 and 4. Well, 2 is less than 4. And you probably heard the phrase, the alligator eats the bigger number. Well, in algebra, sometimes you don't know what the bigger number is yet. And sometimes you are trying to decide how to best use this symbol. The symbol itself of what you would think of as the alligator doesn't turn. They're 2 different symbols. Okay? Sometimes we think, oh, well, I can just put it this way, and now it means the same thing the other way. No. So the best way that I could been able to teach this is always read all of these symbols right here from the left side, just like you're reading a book, from the left side to the right. Whatever you're hitting first is going to be what you say. So this side, you're hitting the small side of the symbol first. That means it is less than. So, once again, less than. And you put this symbol as that. Okay? Now, when we're doing the phrases, I'm going to go ahead and say this now, you'll notice something. Look, is, and is. Even the equal sign, is. That means that these symbols are different from a subtraction sign or something like that. Subtraction is the biggest one. Because a subtraction sign and its words, so here's a subtraction sign and it says less than. So the subtraction sign and this sign are almost the same. But the key is the is. Alright, so hopefully you remember that. Is goes to these symbols and just the less than goes to the subtraction sign. Okay, so now if we're reading from left to right and we're looking for the word is, we should be able to put these from words to numbers and expressions. Okay, now same thing, reading from left to right is less than or equal to. That's what the little line under here is. So in this particular one, that means that if I said 4 is less than, let's say x, 4 is less than x, that means it's everything underneath that number, okay? Equals, so less than or equals to means it's that number and everything underneath it, okay? So it's kind of like a line. So this is our symbol for it once again, and is an important part of it. Okay. Now, going from left to right again, we're hitting the larger side first, and so that is now greater. So if I was reading from left to right, I would say 4 is greater than x. Okay, this would be 4 is less than x. Okay, so now 4 is bigger than x means that 4 is going to be larger than whatever number you're going to find. And then this one says that 4 is equal to or less than x, or sorry, greater than or equal to. That means it's going to be on that number or less than. All right. Once again, is going to be your greatest key on what these are as you're reading phrases. I don't have any examples on this one just yet. Please look at my next video for the examples, and we'll go over a few that we can be able to solve. All right. Thank you very much for watching.